Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another video. In this video we will talk again about SSHFS. There are things that probably I did not mention in the previous video, but in general, if you installed SSHFS on the two computers and the two computers have the daemon of SSH running, it's supposed to work as well as the permissions. For example, if a person does not have permissions to a specific folder or a specific path, he cannot mount it or he cannot write to it. Otherwise, if he has permissions to it, he will be able to mount it. Afterwards, he will be able to do file transfer, writing to that folder, removing from that folder. So the things that you need to know after mounting your SSHFS path, you will be able to do all the operations just like you mounted a specific, let's say, USB flash drive or a specific disk on your device. However, it's from another computer. It will be a little slower depending on your connection speed, depending also on the technology that you are using on your computers or devices. However, it's gonna be just like you have the folder on your computer. So the things that you need to know after you mount the folder on your computer is that you will be able to do all the operations of file transfer, file writing, file reading on the mounted folder the way you like. And the extra things that you will have, or the extra options for your SSHFS, you can find it once you type man SSHFS. You'll get whatever you need. Okay, so you can read this, or you can read the options that you have. For example, you can specify the port. This is important. For example, if you change your SSH folder, SSH port, you should mention that. Otherwise, the connection will not go. It's gonna be dropped. This one is for compression. This one is to tell where to choose a different SSH config file. This one is probably to enable SSH protocol, if I'm not mistaken. This one is to reconnect, and this is important because sometimes the connection is stopped or cut or dropped, so you can reconnect to keep the connection running all the time. And you can check the rest. If we need to talk about each one of them, it's gonna take some time. I'm just trying to simplify things for you so you can run all of this. If you wanna try them, you can try them. Or you can run, my purpose of this is to make you run this thing the easiest way possible. So for us, if we wanna make an SSHFS connection which will allow us to mount a specific folder, we simply run SSHFS, and as we said, we can specify the port, but because our port is the default port, which is 22, we don't need to specify it. However, here you can type your folder number X or X like this. You can put the port number that you have right here, but because mine is default, I'll just put 22. And then I have a virtual machine which has a user on it whose name is Kevin. Okay, we don't care about the names. Doesn't mean that it's a person's name that I know. It's just a random known name, common name. And then we have here the IP address of your machine. For me, it's 10.0.0.69. In case you wanted to use public IP address, you need to make sure that it can be reached, whether by doing port forwarding, if I'm not mistaken, especially if your router has static IP address, if I'm not mistaken. Also, if it has a dynamic IP address, probably it may not work, I'm not sure of it. And then you specify the folder that you would like to mount. In my case, it's /home/Kevin. If we try another folder that Kevin does not have the right to mount or to read and write, you're gonna get an error. Let's try, if you want. Let's try the root file system folder, and then we will choose the place where we want to mount the folder on our local machine. In my case, it's gonna be home/technician/public, and we will try. We're supposed to have an error here. If I'm not, oh, it worked somehow, I don't know. Yes, so maybe I'm wrong or something, because I read about this in an article, and they said, so let's try to run File Explorer, and then we go to public where we mounted our stuff. So it's mounted here. Probably the permissions of Kevin allow him to mount this thing, the root file system. Otherwise, I tried before and I faced an error. I found an error because I don't have probably the read permissions or something. I'm sorry for if there aren't enough details about this, because sometimes you try something, you get a result, and then you try it again, and then you get other results. So it depends. Probably here Kevin, the user Kevin, has the right to read this or to write this or something. If we want to unmount it, we can use this thing. We can use the this icon from the file browser. We can do it like this. Yes, if we do like this, we are not gonna find it because it's unmounted. So that's the first option. And then we do our connection again. So here we specified the port. Alright? So we're not gonna specify again the port. And then we mount it here. Don't forget to put your user password. In my case, I did. If you want to mount using the command line, if you want to unmount, if you want to unmount using the command line, you can use this command, fuser mount. Yes, fuser mount -u, and then the folder on your local machine where you mounted your remote folder or remote path. So it's home, and after you press tab, it's going to give you the full path. And then we press enter. You can see here the icon was here, and then it disappeared because it's unmounted. If you want to, let's try to do some operations, file operations. Okay, and then we'll take Kevin's home folder. You can see on my desktop that it's automatically appearing here, which is because it's mounted there. And then we open our File Explorer, and then we come here, we open this in a new tab, and we do some file operations. So let's try to copy this and paste it here. We can do it, of course. It's gonna take some time depending on my connection speed. By the way, this thing you can do it on Windows. There are different commands, but you need to install extra software. For Linux, I told in the first video how you can install SSHFS, which is available on every official repository. But you can do this with Windows, you can do this with macOS. You can do it also with BSD. It's a cross-platform and it's secure, so it's almost the best way to mount folders, remote paths, remote folders on your local computer. It's equivalent to FTP somehow. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. It can be a little different, so those who know the accurate difference may forgive me for this. However, I believe it's very similar. It's very similar also to Samba, but it's more secure also. And there are so many other methods to mount some remote folders on your computer, but this is probably one of the most secure ways. For example, copy another one, another file. Let's take this. Oh no, this one is going to take some time. Sorry for that. Let's take this, for example. Copy, paste. It worked. Let's delete this. Yep, it's deleted. So the purpose of mounting is being able to do file operations on your remote path. And then, yeah, probably this is everything. Let's try, for example, to open some files. Yep, we can open also if we want. This is open from the remote path. Let's try to open some of the files here. These ones we cannot open them. Let's try to open this. Yep, like this. Yes, so this is the script for installing cacti. Never mind, it's not the topic of this video. If you want cacti video, we can make it in the future if you want. Otherwise, we can open also files from the remote path, just like it's on our local path. So, yep, like this. We got this. We can check properties. It's just like a local folder. Alright, probably that's everything. If you have any problem, you can comment below. And also, if you feel like you like my videos, please don't hesitate to subscribe. I don't like to keep bothering you asking for such thing, but it's gonna help me a lot. And if you think like you're gonna benefit of it, or if you like the videos, you can press like button. Alright, I guess that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in another one.